The fishing industry at sea is a resilient journey in the vast ocean, where boats overcome storms to bring back precious products from the ocean. Let's take a look at the difficult journeys full of challenges and hardships of fishermen in the fishing profession. Let's get started together.
When the net was pulled up, each piece of rope was heavy and taut like a guitar string. The sound of the machine whirring, the sound of water bursting, the fierce thrashing signaled a full catch. Tons of silverfish glistened in the sun, jumping up and down, splashing water like a shower. Each thrashing was a struggle between man and nature. The entire team of fishermen joined forces, cheering, pulling the net, and sorting the fish. Sweat was pouring but smiles were bright. The big catch was a worthy reward for the spirit of solidarity and resilience. The strong arms pulled the net in unison. Under the bright sunlight, the water splashed. Waves of silverfish jumped up like fireworks in the middle of the sea. Each pull was a fierce struggle between people and the ocean. The entire ship seemed to explode when tons of fish were poured in. Mackerel, needlefish, all kinds of fish sparkled like treasures just exploited from the seabed. The salty smell of the sea mixed with the cheers shook the horizon. When the net was folded, the fishermen hugged each other, laughed loudly, their eyes sparkling with pride. Amidst all the hardships, this was a worthy reward for their resilience and camaraderie at the forefront of the storm. All in place, the net rope starts to turn. The machine operator rhythmically coordinates with the strong arms. Little by little, the heavy net is pulled up amid extreme excitement. When the end of the net emerges, tons of shiny silver fish begin to dance, struggling violently in the net. Large fish that can be a meter long beat the water to create a small rain. Using a high-power vacuum or a rotating shaft, each batch of fish is brought up to the hold. The smell of the sea, the smell of fresh fish, the laughter, the sound of fish splashing resounds like a lively music in the middle of the ocean. Fishermen divide the fish according to type, weight and purpose of consumption. The iron nets, nearly a meter in diameter, were skillfully controlled, scooping up batches of fish weighing hundreds of kilograms from the net. Each heavy lift, each splash of seawater, the silver-scaled fish wriggled and sparkled under the morning sunlight, like a silver rain in the middle of the ocean. As soon as they were brought onto the boat, the fish were quickly transferred to deep freezers below deck. The modern refrigeration system operated continuously, ensuring that the fish remained fresh, as if they had just been caught from the sea. After the boat was full of fish, the fishermen temporarily put aside their fatigue and smiled with satisfaction. When the signal came that the fish were caught in the net, everyone immediately got into position. The calloused hands began to pull each section of the net up. Muscles tensed, sweat mixed with the salty seawater. Gradually, each shimmering fish silhouette appeared, jumping, struggling as if trying to escape fate. The fishermen quickly removed the fish from the net. Each fish was a reward for many hours of effort. When the net was pulled up, each fish jumped up and down, the silver shimmering under the sunlight. The group pulled together, shouting and rejoicing, a moment full of vitality and solidarity. The fresh fish were quickly transferred to the boat's hold, where cool water had been prepared to keep the fish healthy. The sound of the fish splashing and the laughter mixed together to create a symphony of labor. When the boat's hold was full of fish, everyone was filled with joy. The result was not just kilos of fish, but the sweat, effort and affection of the people of the river region with nature. After catching, the fresh fish are quickly transferred to the boat by the locals. Each batch is neatly arranged and quickly brought to the cold storage to preserve its freshness. Everything happens smoothly like a well-coordinated machine, from the sea to the boat. Then straight to the storage compartment, ready for the next journey to the consumer. In the vast ocean and sky, under the morning sun or the brilliant sunset, the diligent fishermen begin their familiar but arduous work. When the fishing nets are cast beforehand, they join forces to pull each heavy section of net onto the boat. The sound of the water parting the waves and the rhythmic cheers echo across the ocean, creating a lively and vibrant scene. Each batch of shimmering fish jumps out of the water, caught in the mesh of the net, carrying the hope of a warm and prosperous life. When the entire net is on the boat, the fishermen quickly begin to remove the fish, a step that requires patience, dexterity and experienced hands. As soon as the fish were brought ashore, the people quickly began to sort them. With their nimble hands and vast experience, they selected each fish according to size, type and quality. Each movement demonstrated their dexterity, dedication and pride in the traditional profession. The bustling scene and the cheerful calls to each other in the early morning made the seemingly monotonous work suddenly become lively and strangely attractive. The agile fishermen were thrown with precise speed. Each fishing line was like an arrow aimed straight into the deep ocean. The intense concentration was evident in each person's eyes. The battle began when the fish bit. The whole group coordinated rhythmically, hands cranking, hands holding, bodies tense like strings. Strong jerks, loud shouts mixed with the sound of the waves created a symphony of strength and resilience. The fish were pulled up continuously. The sparkling silverfish were lifted out of the water one by one to the sound of enthusiastic cheers. The boat gradually filled up. The smell of the sea mixed with the smell of sweat, proving an effective and passionate day of work. In the middle of the vast ocean, a group of brave fishermen stood firm in the wind and waves. Their hands as steady as steel, tirelessly casting their lines across the vast sea. Each strong pull from the fishing line was like a fierce battle, bringing back giant fish, full of life. They coordinated in harmony, like seasoned warriors in the vast ocean. Each fish jumped up, falling into the boat's hold with the sound of water bursting, filling the space with a brilliant victory. The sparkling sunlight reflected on the water, creating a mesmerizing scene, where the sweat and determination of people blended with the endless ocean, depicting the image of a resilient life, never giving up. On a quiet night, when darkness covered the lake, people were bobbing on small boats, waiting for the magical moment. Fishing rods were stretched out, each powerful swing dipping into the cold water. Their silhouettes were reflected on the water, reflecting the pale moonlight. Each catch of the net rang out steadily, signaling a promising trip. Experienced fishermen, with skillful movements, gently cast the fishing line into the sea. The bait is dropped into the deep ocean, dragging along the hope of bringing in the spoils. Silence covers the entire space. Only the sound of waves and the breath of the ocean. The feeling of waiting is an indispensable part. Under the cool water, the fish gradually approaches the bait. The fishermen are not in a hurry, maintaining a patient mentality. Their eyes attentively follow the smallest movements on the water surface. Suddenly, the buoy begins to vibrate. At this moment, everything happens at a dizzying speed. The fishermen quickly pull the line, at the same time adjusting the force so that it is strong enough not to break the fishing line but also not to let the fish escape. A struggle between human strength and the ingenuity of the fish takes place right under the ocean. After a while of struggling, the fish is brought onto the boat. Each pull-up is a victory. Once the fish are pulled up, the fishermen quickly collect each fish, gently and carefully to avoid damaging the fish. Each fish is carefully inspected and selected, ensuring quality before being put on the boat. With proficiency, the fishermen use the boat and specialized fishing rod to bring the fish onto the deck. This action requires high precision to ensure that the fish do not fall or get damaged during the process of being put on the boat. After all the fish are on the boat, the final step is to pack and preserve the fish in cold boxes or water tanks to keep them fresh. Each of these steps is done quickly and professionally, helping the fish to always retain their freshness and value. The fish are carefully sorted, from small, cute fish to large, strong fish. Each type of fish is sorted separately to ensure easy sale and transportation. This is where skilled technicians work to ensure quality. After sorting, the fish are washed to remove dirt and impurities. Clean water flows over each fish, highlighting the freshness and preserving the nutritional value. The fish are then stored in cool conditions, preserving the freshness. Once brought ashore, the tuna will be inspected and any abnormalities removed. The fish will then be washed with seawater to remove any impurities, ensuring freshness from the start. Ice is prepared in advance, usually dry ice or crushed ice, to help maintain absolute cold temperatures throughout the transportation process. This ice will be placed in the crate or container with the tuna, covering the entire surface to keep the fish fresh. As soon as the tuna arrives at the factory, the fish is cut by experts, with meticulousness and care for every detail. Large tuna bodies will have their outer skin removed. Then the bones will be removed to get the fresh, bright red fish meat. Other parts of the tuna such as fins, heads and intestines are also collected, recycled or used for other dishes. The tuna meat is classified according to freshness, then thoroughly cleaned, washed many times to remove all impurities. Each piece of meat will be carefully inspected to ensure absolute quality. The tuna meat will be cleaned and carefully trimmed to remove excess fat. For dishes such as sushi or sashimi, the fish meat is cut into thin, beautiful slices, preserving the freshness of the fish. For grilled or stewed dishes, the meat will be cut into bite-sized pieces, marinated with spices to absorb evenly. Cooking dishes, sushi and sashimi, fresh tuna meat will be thinly sliced, dipped in soy sauce, wasabi, or served with ginger. This is a dish that honors the freshness of tuna. Grilled and steamed. The tuna pieces are marinated with spices, olive oil, lemon and herbs before grilling or steaming. When processed, the fish meat still retains its softness, sweetness and characteristic aroma. Tuna stew. Tuna meat is stewed with vegetables, spices and broth, creating a nutritious stew, rich in the flavor of the sea. After being processed, the dishes will be beautifully decorated with raw vegetables, fruits or fresh spices. Sushi and sashimi dishes are often decorated with seaweed leaves, wasabi and fresh ginger. Grilled or stewed dishes will also be delicately decorated with herbs and spices.
Today's video ends here, and I hope we have brought you an interesting topic. How do you feel today? Please comment a lot below to let us know. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe to support the channel. And now, hello, and see you again in the next videos.